She's back by popular demand. She is Dr. Jeanette Betancourt, Senior Vice President for U.S. Social Impact at Sesame Workshop.
Thank you so much for having me.
Do you know you're one of our favorite guests, right?
Oh my goodness, do you know you are one of my favorite shows, and to be here, it's such an honor.
I'm sorry, did you say I was your favorite host?
Host and show.
I will stop
Host
fishing.
And show.
No. More to the point, we were talking about growing up great. We're talking about some of the work. By the way, put Sesame Workshop into context. Who are you? What do you do? Because we think we know.
Oh, well, maybe you don't know all of us. Sesame Workshop is a nonprofit organization, believe it or not, whose mission is to help children grow smarter, stronger, and kinder, and to do it around the world. We, believe it or not, target 183 million children in over 140 countries.
That's important work, to say the least. And the last time you were here, you were talking about this wonderful character on Sesame Street. Her name is Abby.
Abby,
yes. Who has autism.
Well, it's Julia.
Sorry,
Julia.
Yes.
Julia, and Abby is her wonderful friend, as is Elmo.
Oh, that's okay.
Both of them are there. Wonderful. And introduce Julia, who is...
Julia is the one who
has autism. She's a 4-year-old little Muppet who has autism.
And Abby's her good friend.
And Abby is her good friend. But Elmo is the one who really guides both Big Bird and Abby to understand Julia's autism.
Why is it that Elmo always brings people together?
Because he's 3.5, curious and just very sensitive, and understands friendship, just like all 3.5-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we want to talk about is this initiative, one of the newest initiatives you're involved in with your colleagues that does make a difference. It's called Words Are Here, There, and Everywhere. What is it?
Absolutely. It is a wonderful partnership with PNC Grow Up Great, who is a bank that has made an investment, a tremendous investment, in improving the quality of early childhood education. So with this particular initiative, it's really scaffolding on the long-term effort that we have around school readiness for children birth to 5 years of age. And in this particular initiative, we're looking at how important vocabulary is in helping children understanding the world, but also getting ready for school and understanding that words are all around us, but we should be engaged in both easy vocabulary, but also challenging kids with deeper and harder vocabulary along the way. We do that in certain ways. One is from the point of view as grown-ups, we are the circle of care. We're often there in discussions and opportunities in the everyday moments. So it's taking advantage of the everyday moments and highlighting them through conversations. But talking about what's around you, talking about the colors, the shapes, talking about what is happening in the moment, the experiences, talking about feelings as well, using all those words to express yourself.
Sorry for interrupting. How old are these children we're talking about, the target population?
Oh, these are preschoolers. These are kids in the ages of 3 to 5 years of age. It's the fundamental part where we're really expanding their brain development and their understanding of the world. And we do that through conversation, and we use words, vocabulary to do that.
You know, it's so interesting, Jeanette, we've had you on so many times, and each time you teach us something new, but I'm thinking about for parents watching right now, who want to take what you're saying and use it with their young children. It is not enough to put a child or place a child in front of a television set or some sort of screen. I'm good for the next hour. How is it that different from what you're describing? Because this appears to talk about much more engagement.
Right. I think you used the right word. It's engagement. Now, when we're looking at technology or screen time, it's the quality of that screen time.
Not just the amount of time?
It's not the amount of time, it's the engagement and the quality of that screen time. Obviously, it shouldn't be your predominant experience. And keep in mind that screen time is a tool. It's another tool, just like a book is. We're introducing it. But you said something, engagement. And it's part of what we call nurturing or parenting. It's how we connect with our children and in these everyday moments and activities to talk about what's happening in the moment. And that means that if we're walking down the street or we're going shopping, we're not just looking at the items that we're purchasing. We have an opportunity to talk about them and ask questions. But the secret is that kids are so curious. They're always asking questions. And it is our responsibility as adults to help them respond to them and engage with them.
Help me again on that, Lauren. It's called the digital. What is a digital storybook?
Oh, this is a wonderful experience that we have. And so all of these resources that we're talking about are at sesamestreet.org/words.
Can we do that again? Put it up there.
sesamestreet.org/words.
Our great team will figure that out. Go ahead. What happens when people go there?
And you go there, you have an opportunity of multiple resources that give you opportunities interactively to enhance vocabulary. One part of that are these incredible digital storybooks that highlight experiences around math and science and the arts. And the way we do that is by creating an interactive experience where you see the words highlighted as they're happening. And they're also connected to the pictures in the storybook. So you can stop them, you can ask questions about it, but you're also seeing the interactivity and explanation of that word in the moment through pictures.
So Doctor, it isn't, it isn't simple as just saying, oh, I'm going to keep my kid off of digital media. We've got to cut back on the amount of time they're spending. Yeah, we do need to do that, but the question is, what is that time like? How is that time being spent? And frankly, for us as parents, to what degree are we doing this thing called engaging? And I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here, but with our daughter, who's a little bit past the age you're talking about, but I remember the temptation to just let the show go. But I realized that there are times that I'm sure there are words that are being used that she wouldn't know, and I would say, Olivia, what about that word? And she'd repeat the word and try to say what she thought it meant.
Right.
She didn't have it 100% right, and then we would talk about it, give her a sentence. And is that what you? The reason I'm going into that detail because I want to go into understand what engagement means.
That's exactly what you're doing. You're taking advantage of the opportunity, right? You're saying, oh my gosh, here's a word or a concept that she's interested in, and we have an opportunity to extend it. And maybe she didn't get it right, which is absolutely right. That's part of the way kids learn and grow. We ask questions, and there may be times that we make mistakes, but having the opportunity to explore that mistake is even better. You're finding out why that response necessarily wasn't the right definition, but there's a way to explain it and discover it again.
I ask you this every time. I got 20 seconds left. I ask you this every time, Jeanette, when you're on with us. 1 to 10, how much do you love your job?
It's like over the top 10 multiplied, like Google-wise.
You are.
Thank you.
I tell you this also every time. You're one of my favorite guests of all time.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's great.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by the PNC Foundation, the New Jersey Education Association, Montclair State University, PSC&G, JFK Medical Center, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, and by Partners for Health Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.